Hi, I'm Ryan Hunter, and this is Kalispell Connections, a program where we talk about issues important to the community. With me today is Cliff Bennett, the Executive Director of the Flathead County Animal Shelter. Hi, Cliff.
Hi, Ryan.
So just coincidentally, we were speaking just before the start of the interview that my family adopted a cat today from the animal shelter, and we're very pleased about it. And we probably like a lot of folks, we're thinking, with the amount of time we're spending at home due to the COVID situation, that now is a better time than any to bring a new animal into the house and spend some time with it. And I'm wondering, are you seeing that at the shelter? Are a lot of folks, are adoptions up? How has COVID changed the situation there at the shelter?
Well, our cat numbers are incoming are about the same as they've always been, but our dog numbers are down about 20%. We normally average about 1,000 dogs a year, which is 80 to 90 dogs every month. And January and February, we started out with 80, but we've been down in the 50, 60 range since then. And I think what happens is more people are spending more time at home. Dogs get lonely and bored and like to climb fences or dig holes or work the gate till it pops open.
All right.
And so with more people spending more time at home, the dogs aren't getting as lonely. And in addition, I think people are looking out their window, like at our fence, saying, the fence doesn't look so good. I think while I'm home, I better do a little work. So I think that's helping a lot. And then when we don't have so many dogs in here, when somebody is in the mood to adopt, they kind of say, is this all you have? Today we have, at this moment, we have 0 adoptable dogs here. So
when was the last time you had a situation like that?
Well, it's happened a couple of times in the last 30 days. It never lasts very long because we get dogs come in every day. All the law enforcement agencies in the valley bring them in, and Good Samaritans, when they see a dog out, in harm's way on a street or something, bring them in, and we hold them here for 72 hours, hoping an owner shows up. And then on Tuesday or Thursday, dogs that are considered property of the county get spayed or neutered. Then they have a day of rest. Then they go up for adoption. So it's rare for a dog on its 4th day to be adoptable, but usually inside of a week, a dog that hasn't been picked up goes up for adoption. And we average less than 7 days right now for dogs in here. So yeah, so the big thing is we get a lot of dogs that go back to their owners, and licensing and microchipping has really helped that.
Okay, yeah, and tell me about that. What's the importance of licensing and microchipping?
Well, the best thing about a dog license is that all the animal control and law enforcement people can access our database. And so if they find a dog in downtown Kalispell or out on the outskirts of Whitefish or up in the canyon somewhere, they can look it up and not have to bring it in here. And they can call the owner, see if the owner is home, if they're right down the street. From the street address, they can go knock on the door. And like I was telling you a while ago, we have plenty to do here every day. We don't wish someone's dog was in here. We wish they were home. And people get pretty mad because there are fees. We have a staff here, and we have a vet in here twice a week, and we vaccinate everything that comes in on intake. It costs the county about $1,100 a day to keep the doors open here. So a long time ago, the county thought, the people that need the shelter the most need to help a little bit on those expenses. So they do.
Now, I have a dog we adopted years ago and has a microchip, but we've since moved, changed addresses, and I've actually wondered this, and so perfect opportunity to ask about it. How do we update that microchip? We lost all the information about it, and so there's a microchip there, but it's got the wrong address.
and that happens a lot. Unfortunately, it really frustrates us because, again, we want these dogs and these cats that are microchipped to get home. So every time you move, all you have to do is call the chip company and say, we no longer live at on Sunnyside Lane. We moved to Cottonwood Drive or wherever. And people change their phones a lot too. And that's the next worst thing is phone calling for us is a lot easier because we don't go out and, try and search people down. And nothing's worse than, thinking, all right, this dog's got a microchip, let's call the owner. And the number is disconnected. So that's a sad one.
Right. So tell me, what's your thoughts on why it's important to adopt animals as opposed to, going to a breeder? I know a lot of folks feel that, well, they want a puppy, they want a kitten and get it from scratch or whatever. Why do you feel it's important to consider adopting a pet?
Well, one of the biggest things is monetarily, it's pretty hard to beat an adopted dog. A spay or a neuter operation right now is several $100s. And the average dog operation adoption fee here is 100. And cats are about 60 or 70. So you get a cat that's had all of its vaccinations, which a trip to the vet anymore is usually close to $100. You get all those vaccinations. Your animal's microchipped when it comes out of here. So you get a pretty darn good value. And oftentimes the dogs and cats that have been in here have been someone else's pet, and for misfortune or a move to somewhere that doesn't allow pets, you get a dog that is used to being around people and is glad to see you. Sometimes, you do an adopt from a breeder, and sometimes you got a lot of work to do. So those are a couple of pretty good reasons. We don't always have the breed somebody's looking for. So it's not every single time we're going to have what an adopter's looking for, but it's pretty easy to just get on our website and see what's available.
Yeah, that's what I've found in adopting our pets is every time we've gone in, there's a variety of dogs or cats to look at and variety of personalities, and it's inevitable you're going to find one you're going to fall in love with that's going to work with your family. I mean, it's just I think there's a misperception out there about adoptable animals that you're not going to find what you're looking for maybe, but that's not been my experience at all. You always find a great pet at the shelter.
Those of us that work here, of course, we fall in love with almost all of them, and so they get a lot of love and affection while they're here. But the hard thing about us is we go home at 5 or 6 o'clock at night, and these poor animals are sitting here alone all night. They're pretty darn glad to see us the next morning. So the best day for us is the day one of these animals goes home. Anybody's home.
Yeah, and I know you guys do a great job of posting stuff on the website so people can follow, see what's available. My daughter was very fixated on that for the last few months before we got our cats, checking all the pets that are available and their personalities and all that. So that makes it easy as well.
Our software program that we use, when an animal goes out, it is immediately off the site. And when an animal comes in, even a stray that isn't adoptable, we have a stray section. So that's another good thing for people that, a lot of people, they're at work all day. The dog gets out at noon and they're not home for another 5 or 6 hours. And so, but their friends oftentimes say, hey, I see your dog on the county's website. You better call them. So that's nice. It's been a great help.
Now, my daughter's very interested in volunteering, but I know there's, traditionally volunteer opportunities, but obviously with COVID, things may be a little bit different. Can you speak to how things have changed with volunteering and kind of what the current status is?
We have a great bunch of volunteers, and your daughter would be welcome. You've got to be at least 12, and if you're under 18, you got to be accompanied by a parent. But we have actually have, and our volunteers have been really good about understanding. We try to really limit how many people are in here every day, and just for health reasons. And I took my mask off, but we work for the county. We are part of the health department, and so we're acutely aware of distancing and not crowding too many people. We ask people when they come to the door for dog licenses or to adopt or whatever, if we can only have one at a time, and we try and schedule appointments that way because of that. So we love volunteers, and we encourage them. And I'm not the only one who's looking for things to get back to the way they were.
Yeah, I know. We all are. Hopefully next year can't come soon enough. For folks who are interested in volunteering or coming and looking at the pets for adoption, what's the best way to get a hold of you, and where's the shelter located? I know a lot of folks don't know where you're at.
The shelter is on Cemetery Road, and that's not because we bury a lot of pets here. The county's oldest cemetery, the DeMarsville Cemetery, is right behind us. So Cemetery Road runs from Highway 93 to Airport Road, and it's an extension of Willow Glen. So there's a four-way stoplight. Town Pump, Kalispell Toyota, Green Nissan are all at that big four-way stoplight. And so we're open from noon to 5. We are trying to see people by appointment only. So it's disappointing for the people who want to just drop in and have a cruise around, and we miss those days too. But people have been pretty darn good about we explain we're all trying to stay healthy, and there's only 8 of us that work here, and we're here 7 days a week. So a lot of days there's only a couple of us here, and if we lose one of them, it's a large part of the total. So
Right, absolutely. Well, Cliff, thank you so much for chatting with me, and thank you for the work you and your team do there at the shelter, taking in the animals and making them available for folks who are looking to give them a loving home. We really appreciate that work.
well, thanks for your kind words, Ryan. It was a pleasure, and thanks for having me on. And thanks to the community we live in. We have a lot of generous people that don't just donate their time. Excuse me, a lot of them have donated money, and all the money that gets donated stays right here. And we've done some amazing building projects, and we have a medical facility here to take care of the animals. And we're lucky enough to have blood testing equipment, dental equipment, x-ray equipment. We even bought an MRI this year with donated funds. So it's amazing what the community has helped us acquire for animal health care.
Yeah, no, I'm continually impressed by the generosity in our community, and certainly I know we have a lot of animal lovers in the valley. I know several of them myself, our family included. So absolutely, it's a great community to live in, and I'm glad they're supporting the shelter.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Cliff.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.